our squad leveled up here for the Eastern Conference Finals because joining us now from the 75th anniversary team, Chris Paul, the point guard himself, alongside Bob Myers, Michael Wilbon. I'm just saying, don't worry, Stephen A. will be by for NBA Countdown. But Chris, since you're the rookie, at least on this set, I'm going to start with you. When we talk about, look at these four guys behind us, Anthony Edwards, Luka Doncic, Jayson Tatum, or Tyrese Halliburton. One of those four will be winning their first ever NBA championship. Who is the most pressure on them when we're going into these Final Four?
And what people should understand is that everybody in those locker rooms, it's a lot of pressure. On these teams that you're on, you're never guaranteed to be back there again. I've learned that the hard way over the years, but every game matters, every round matters, and it's interesting to see what'll happen.
But that's such a good point to remember that it's not guaranteed. The Denver Nuggets are remembering that right now. Running it back is hard. We just so happen to be sitting with someone who, ran it back a couple of times over here. How do you digest that pressure?
Look, I think Chris makes a good point. We have these ideas that it's going to be forever. I mean, look at the Oklahoma City Thunder team that had Durant, Harden, Westbrook. They played the Heat in the finals, and you thought this is going to be a team that's in the finals for the next 5-6 years. All of a sudden, a year later, they have been back, and now they've rebuilt the thing. But I look at these guys. First of all, congratulations to all those players, because what they've already done is impressive, and they're all on the youngish side. If you make me choose, which is what they do on these shows, Wilbon, they make me choose.
Real quick.
I would say Tatum, and it's not. I don't want to add on to there's pressure on Tatum, but I would just say he's probably got the oldest team, and guy like Al Horford on the older side, guys like Drew Holiday a little bit on the older side, still very effective. Those guys aren't going, in my opinion, to get better over the next few years. Hopefully they stay the same. Where you look at some of these other teams, and they've got some younger players, they've got some pieces around them, and the Celtics probably have the most economic pressure to keep it together, although their ownership has said they will.
You mean multiple $300 million players, Bob?
Yeah.
Although Luka's going to be knocking on that door with another All-NBA.
And you look at the Celtics, the last thing is 6 conference finals in 8 years. You only get so many cracks at this thing. In 22 against the Warriors.
Oh, no.
He knows. He knows.
Well, to underscore the point that they're both making, you have so many players in the league now. We got those 4 back here. We know we haven't talked about in a month? Victor Wembanyama. Like he's not coming at some point?
Oh, yeah.
And his team and an organization that knows how to do this. You have so many great players and great young ones who aren't in those 4. And so this notion is all day people have been talking about repeating. So I don't need to see a repeat. I want to see great teams, whatever that means. I want to see all these young players have a shot. And why shouldn't they each, of course, they're trying to play their way into that serious contention. So why wouldn't I want to see?
It's fun basketball to watch, too. It's high level. Guys are competing on both ends, offensively and defensively. But if I think back, like you were saying, Bob, to the 2007-2008 playoffs, I remember sitting in a meeting with our team, and I was sitting there, and one of my vets, might have been Bonzi Wells, stood up and said, "Hey, fellas, take advantage of this opportunity that we have with this team." And I sat there and I was like, yeah, I hear you, Bonzi, but I'm 22. I was 22, I think, at the time, and I was like, they're going to name me MVP in a couple weeks, whatever. This might be your only last crack at it. But it happens. The seasons go by, injuries happen, and you just got to take full advantage of the opportunity.
So when we're looking at Jayson Tatum here, because he's in a unique situation, he's been knocking on that door over and over again for so many years. We're going to hear from him on NBA Countdown in my exclusive interview where he talks about this pressure. But, Bob, you saw him up close in 2022 when the Golden State Warriors won that title over the Boston Celtics. What's changed for you about the pressure he's facing now?
Well, getting there is hard. He's been there. So now he can't say, nor can anybody on that team or their organization say, well, the lights were too bright, or we weren't ready. They've been there. And I'm not knocking. Chris played in the finals, much more mature when you got there, many more years under your belt. But the thing that I'm Jayson Tatum, and I really like him. I do like him. He's a tremendous player. I don't know him at all. He seems like a great person.
He is.
He does.
Unbelievable.
I root for guys like that.
Great dad, too.
But here's what I would say. He's better than what he played in 2022.
And he knows that.
As a player, and as Chris is, when you are in the finals, you want to be at your best because that's the time where you can change, your own career, grab that trophy. And I feel like for Tatum, he knows deep down, I'm better than I played in 2022.
But let me ask you this real quickly, because we get so locked in on individuality, superstar, and it is a sport more than the others of the superstar league. No. But he's got Jaylen Brown is on that team, right? Did I miss something? Drew Holiday's on that team. We're talking about the Celtics have what ought to be the best team. And the great Celtic teams of all time, even when they had, okay, forget the Russell teams, Bird, they still had teams, right? They had full teams. Kevin McHale was there. Parrish was there. Dennis Johnson was there. Yeah. They have multiple Hall of Famers. They're ensembles. They're not one-man units.
Listen, they got a great team, but as players, Indiana is here. Everything y'all saying,
right?
just know that.
About that.
Including their coach, a former Celtic.